And on the biggest story tonight, we're going to tell you the story of Robert Vadra. And yesterday on Republic TV, we put out the inconsistencies. In the next few minutes, we'll also bring out the inconsistencies and what we told you on Tuesday. But today, on the biggest story tonight, Republic TV has gathered some details. We've gathered some details on how Robert Vadra's versions don't match with the versions of his associates. And today, in the next few minutes, we will tell you on this show how Robert Vadra is completely cornered by agencies. His versions don't match, and it now appears that a key man in the entire web, Thampi, may have met Robert Vadra to Sonia Gandhi's OSD. Now that's a big revelation, and that's something that the agencies are looking at very, very closely. A story being broken by Republic TV's Shravan Sen, who will be joining us live anytime now. Shravan Sen yesterday brought us those details of how Vadra's versions don't match with the versions of his associates. At least seven key statements that were made by Robert Vadra in the course of investigation in the last 11 times that he has appeared on the Enforcement Directorate summons. Now, his versions don't seem to match the versions of his associates, and we're now learning that a key man who's in the web, his name is Thampi, very, very close to Robert Vadra. He was introduced to Vadra through Sonia Gandhi's Aide. Is that correct, Shravan? Is that correct? Now, what is the link that agencies are really looking at? And why do these inconsistencies vis-a-vis Vadra and Sonia's Aide raise questions?
This in perspective as to how important this man, Thampi, is as far as this entire investigation is concerned. Thampi is essentially someone who's actually arranged funds not only for Robert Vadra, but we are given to understand funds for Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi's land in Haryana, the land that Thampi actually got for Rahul Gandhi as well as Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, and the profit that was essentially made was also routed through Thampi. So to put this in perspective, he is certainly extremely important as far as this investigation is concerned. With regards to Robert Vadra, important to point out here is that when Robert Vadra was essentially asked whether he knows Thampi, he told the Enforcement Director that he met Thampi on a flight. In fact, it is Thampi who himself admitted that he actually met Robert Vadra through Sonia Gandhi's OSD, P.P. Madhavan. And in fact, it now turns out that P.P. Madhavan and Thampi go a long way as far as their connection in the Gandhi family is concerned.
Shravan, what we'll do is we'll try and get you live. Shravan, we lost your feed there. We'll try and get you back live. Meanwhile, let me also go across to Ridhaman and Bharadwaj, who's also been tracking the story of Thampi very, very closely. In fact, she was the first reporter to confront Thampi in this entire investigation. She confronted him not once but twice. Rhythm, how crucial is Thampi in this case? And now that Shravan is telling us that as far as Thampi is concerned, he was introduced to Vadra through Sonia Gandhi's OSD, or at least that's what some of the associates of Vadra have confessed.
Very, very close, Niranjan, and let's tell our viewers, even in 2017 when we started off the channel, we were at that time also trying to track Thampi. It was at that time when his interrogation had been started at the Enforcement Directorate. Why he's so crucial and exactly what Shravan said, but till we got the crucial bit of evidence that Shravan has today got for us, we were not saying it aloud. We knew all this time that Thampi has had links with the Gandhi Parivar from a very long time. In fact, my sources had at that time also told us, and we were talking to his lawyers, we were talking to the Enforcement Directorate at that time, that Thampi has been known to the Gandhi Parivar for the longest time. So in 2017 itself, he had admitted that I knew Robert Vadra since much earlier. Now that confession coming from Robert Vadra that he had only met Thampi in an Emirates flight, like Shravan Sen is breaking down those explosive details, seems to be a conflict between what Robert Vadra is saying and what his associate is saying. In fact, I have been told that not only do they know Thampi, but Thampi was a very big name in UAE. The Congress party, the Gandhi Parivar, have also enjoyed the hospitality of Thampi and his wife in the UAE several times. The big deal that the Enforcement Directorate is really looking at here are the land deals that have taken place in Haryana and the land deals in Faridabad, and how Thampi brought that bit of land for the Gandhi Parivar, for the Vadra Parivar, how his name came up, and also the London properties, Niranjan. In the London properties, properties, the 12 Bryanston Square property where arms dealer Sanjay Bhandari's name comes. It's also a property that later went across to CC Thampi. How is it CC Thampi's company in UAE is called Skylight? We were the first channel to bring you those documents that clearly showed CC Thampi's company is called Skylight Hospitality. Even the company of Robert Vadra here, which made those changes, which made all those documentation in Haryana land deals, was Skylight Hospitality. How are two companies called Skylight? How is Robert Vadra with such open flamboyance?
Rhythm, I think, sorry to interrupt you there. My apologies for interrupting you there. I just want to go back to Shravan for one minute, Rhythm, because he's also getting some more crucial information as we speak that he's picked up from some of his sources in the agencies. What are they telling you, Shravan, about how critical this link is turning out to be?
Well, all this while, what no one really looked on to was basically the link between PP Madhavan and CC Thampi. In fact, we are now given to understand that he's from the same village, and CC Thampi and PP Madhavan go in a long way as far as their connection with the Gandhi family is concerned. So when Robert Vadra essentially says that he met CC Thampi on a flight, that is a complete lie. Now, in fact, the agency believe that there has been a long connection. In fact, Madhavan is also someone who's very close to Rahul Gandhi. So to put together how CC Thampi was the man who got the land for Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. In fact, the money was basically given to a real estate agent, and thereafter that same land was sold to a third party. We're given to understand the profit which finally came to Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, that too came from CC Thampi. So effectively, to put together how things have essentially developed, it is extremely important, the link between PP Madhavan as well as CC Thampi, which finally reaches to Robert Vadra. And when he's basically lying, this is exactly what the enforcement director had to tell the High Court, that there is a clear contradiction, and more importantly, not just one, there are 10 such contradictions that have been highlighted after questioning not just Robert Vadra but his close associates who have basically admitted before the enforcement directorate that Robert Vadra is indeed lying when it comes to key characters like Sumit Chadda, CC Thampi as well as Sanjay Bhandari.
Yeah, and that's what, and you know, Shravan, that's exactly what, also Rhythm was saying. We'll play out that web here on our video wall here in our studios, but I want Rhythm to tell us first. Rhythm, they have been tracking and they have been calling this man called Thampi. He's a very mysterious character in this entire web, but he holds the answers to the entire money trail. Why is he so critical? And how many times has he been questioned? At least in your experience, how many times do we know he's been called in, and what's been the challenge with him so far, Rhythm?
So, Niranjan, he started the questioning in 2017, and I came to know through legal sources that there was this person being questioned, and when we started following it, it seemed as if he was trying to be very, he was not trying to let us know who he was. But then we saw the kind of VIP treatment that was there at the enforcement directorate, and the VIPs, cars that used to come there, then he was living in those VIP hotels where we used to follow him. He very quietly told us, I don't want to talk to you on record. After which he slowly started opening up sometimes, but on record, he was not very good at speaking with us. The big two cases against him, of course, like Shravan has been telling us, the land deals in which there are clear papers that show that he has been purchasing and buying land for the Gandhis and also for the Vadra Parivar. And also the bigger picture is on the London Bryanston Square property and the other London properties of Vadras. His name is very much there on paper. The deal was struck by Sanjay Bhandari, and then it was sold to the property that was owned by the UAE company of CC Thampi. CC Thampi has been known to the Gandhis and the Congress leaders for the longest time. Several Congress leaders have enjoyed his hospitality, and this didn't start now, it started from the UPA era. When I tried to speak to his counsels, and I remember in 2017 when we really started pursuing him, I spoke to his counsel, Mr. Mohan Parasaran, who's a very senior advocate. He said, what is the big deal even if he knows Robert Vadra? That's the first inkling that we knew that there was some link that had to be attached. We did go on air with it, but now what Shravan is breaking down becomes very crucial. Robert Vadra is caught lying on his links with CC Thampi.
Yeah, and what happens next, Shravan? Is this why, questions will be asked, Shravan, of whether this is why Robert Vadra wants to exit India. As more and more dots are connected, there will be questions asked on the urgency with which Robert Vadra wants to visit other countries. Now, he claims it's for treatment, but there are other claims being made that he's trying to buy time by leaving India.
Well, in fact, Niranjan, as far as CC Thampi is concerned, important to point out here is that he's been sent multiple summons by the Enforcement Directorate, but he has responded by saying that he is receiving medical treatment and he is outside India. In fact, this is something that the Enforcement Directorate has been trying to follow up for a long time, because he is going to be extremely crucial, as Rhythm was also rightly pointing out, because here is a man who is actually, his connections go back to Indira Gandhi days. In fact, Mahesh Nagar, who was stung by Republic Media Network, admitted that CC Thampi was the man who was actually giving the money on behalf of Robert Vadra, as well as Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. So as far as CC Thampi is concerned, it's going to be important as to whether at all he joins the probe. As far as Robert Vadra is concerned, important to point out here, Niranjan, that all this while Enforcement Directorate has been impressing upon the court that how custodial interrogation of Robert Vadra becomes extremely crucial, and that is the reason why this is the document that was basically provided before the High Court, basically highlighting the 10 contradictions that have come up after questioning Robert Vadra as well as his associates. So the order is likely to come up sometime next month. That's when only we'll get to know whether at all he'll still enjoy the anticipatory bail, or would that be cancelled, and whether the Enforcement Directorate would be given the permission to go ahead with an arrest of Robert Vadra. Because as far as Enforcement Directorate is concerned, they are saying that right now what is extremely crucial and important is a custodial interrogation of Robert Vadra, and nothing less than that.
Now this is the entire web, and for all our viewers watching this story that Shravan Sen is breaking, now this is why it's very crucial. We'll play that entire web out once again. So Robert Vadra is a character in this web, but we'll tell you where it starts. HL Pehwa, now nobody has been able to get him on camera. This is a picture from one of the agreements that we managed to gather. Now he's the man who purchases land. Rahul Gandhi purchases land from this mysterious man called HL Pehwa. HL Pehwa also buys land from Priyanka Vadra and Robert Vadra. And CC Thampi, the man that you see here, is introduced to Robert Vadra allegedly by Sonia Gandhi's OSD. And someone who's also in the web is Sanjay Bhandari, who's a defense dealer, who Republic TV managed to confront in London, and someone who also funded Robert Vadra's aid in all of these dealings. Now, essentially, why are we doing that story? We're doing this story because there is a man called Thampi who has all the answers to how Rahul Gandhi bought money, bought land, Priyanka Vadra and Robert Vadra. Now, the entire land deals go through this one man who's getting the money through a defense agent, is what agencies believe. The story is going to get very, very big, and Republic TV is right on top. Taking a short break. On this note, on the biggest story tonight, when we come back, the big story from Bengal of Mamata Banerjee's Chur Chur warning. Stay tuned.